say that the San Francisco 8 case per se is not that important. That the major question is COINTELPRO or blah, 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 squam. But see, my problem with that kind of language is that, first of all, I don't talk to those individuals anymore. We basically have broken friendship. Because I do believe this case is important. I do believe this first case in San Francisco is extremely important. And let me say this, because we are going to break out. I'm going to give you the telephone number that you're going to call, I would hope, to fill at least 2 buses. Is that a pretty good number, 59, 2 buses maybe? Okay. The number is 232-8316. 232-8316, and the area code is 323. We must begin to actually strategize as to how we're going to get those buses up there. From the national campaign to free the San Francisco 8, there are no protests that are planned. Maybe the mission are planning some protests, and I guess they'll be talking about it. We would like to put on your calendar August 4th. First of all, Saturday at Compton College, there is going to be a celebration of African Liberation Day. And our students from Cal State are going to be participating on a panel. And I would hope they would talk about the San Francisco 8 on that panel. And that's going to be from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and Brother Dinon is going to be saying some more about that. But please, each and every person in this room, plan to attend that conference. On to the question of the bail petition. I want to be very, very clear about how and why that is important. Angela Davis had to fight against a very difficult situation because a judge had his head blown off. And a young man by the name of Jonathan Jackson had his head blown off, all in the same day within 4 or 5 minutes of one single incident. Angela Davis was charged with a conspiracy to kidnap, murder, and a whole bunch of other things. Now, I talked to some of the brothers who are now part of the San Francisco 8. We argued back there in 1970 about how to proceed with this case. And I never will forget when the issue of how to get Angela Davis free on bail, when in fact, unlike the San Francisco 8, Angela ran. Angela took off. Angela went underground. They had to find her in New York City in some raggedy motel on her way to Cuba. Angela took off. Now, can you imagine discussing bail and having faith in the system when you already ran? You understand what I'm saying, King? What happens is, how in the world can you look a judge in the face and say, will you have faith in me, I won't run? And I have already run. You caught me hiding up under the bed somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? So, Charlene Mitchell and others felt, forget any other discussion in your public meetings. Let's pray, let's organize for bail. Let's work. Come on now. The truth of the matter is, what happened is that Cuba connected. Vietnam connected, China connected, the Soviet Union connected. All over the world started hollering and screaming about bail. Was only one problem, Brother Simmons, and that was the death penalty existed in the United States of America, and the judge says, even if I were to grant you bail, I can't, under the legal code, as long as the death penalty in the United States, the death penalty says it's an available offense. Well, the national campaign to end the death penalty weighed in. And when they weighed in, the whole world weighed in to smash the death penalty in the United States of America. The San Francisco 8 doesn't have that problem. They don't have the problem because they are already a bail. It's just the bail is too high. So we're talking about a reasonable bail question as opposed to fighting a situation where there is no bail. Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, the whole artist community fell in line on the bail question. Judge said, I don't care about her running, I don't care about any of that stuff. You in the death penalty in the United States and I'll bail her out overnight. Okay, I'm going to shut up. And do you know what happened? One night we went to bed, in the morning we woke up, and Richard Nixon signed the order to end the death penalty in the United States of America. And the entire United States of America went just crazy because they knew Angela was coming home. And she was released 2 days later. Aretha Franklin put the money up cash, the entire amount of bail, I think it was a couple $1 million. She just wrote a check to me to get it out. And other people put up their property, millionaires put up their property, and she came out as her own legal counsel along with a dream team of attorneys. So I'm gonna shut up and sit down, but I want people to pay attention to what we're trying to do. August 4th, we're trying to do a play called The People's Tribunal, the San Francisco 8 in the criminal justice system. We're looking for you to help us find 3 judges, celebrity types. We're looking for you, students, to participate in reading the murder complaint for us, and also reading the response that our political national campaign will provide for us. Also, we're looking for you to help us seat jurors. So it's all here, right here. In other words, you have it in front of you, you know what we need, and we're asking you to support us. I will yield the floor back to the chair, and thank you so much. If there's any questions, I'd like to ask.
If we got another round of applause for Phyllis Boudreaux and now what we're going to do is engage in workshops. If you kind of notice, the room is set up in 5 separate groups. What we're going to do with each of these 5 groups is break off these workshops. The first group will be the Patriot Act, Patriot Pro. The second one will be dealing with petitions. The middle one was dealing with the media, making it a national issue. The one in the back here is going to be dealing with lowering of the bail, and this one right here is going to be contact information, also geared around getting people up to San Francisco to check out the trial. So the objective of these workshops is to everyone at the table to engage and come up with ideas and practical issues and ways to get these things addressed. So we're not looking for anything too radical, something that's real practical and it's obtainable. So you guys, like I said, it's the Patriot Act. We got the petitions back there. We have the middle table is the media making a mass movement. The back table back there is bail, and this one is the contact information, writing them letters and getting people up to San Francisco. So feel free to be able to move around and wherever you feel compelled to work for, go for it. Dion got something to say?